Hello, friends. It's Laura Ward in Role Play. This is a somatic inquiry practice. So, what is an inquiry practice? And what are somatics? Somatics is when we enter our body with awareness and consciousness, where we bring our participation into sensation and we go, what am I feeling in here? What is going on? So, it's not enforced from the outside where we find right and wrong from somebody else telling us our body's in the right position. It's where we come into ourselves and go, what am I feeling? What's happening on this internal level? So that's somatics. And then an inquiry practice is where you don't know the answer and there isn't an answer. And every day the answer might be different. So I feel like that's the beauty of practices like continuum, where it's really just an exploration. It's very open-ended. There isn't a right or wrong. There's no answer. You can't get it right. It's just I'm going in and I'm spending time here. It's like you're diving into the ocean and you're swimming. And you're not doing it to get in shape and you're not doing it to fish. You're doing it to be in the ocean and to feel the ocean, to understand through your body what that all means. Okay, so I've been thinking about something in the Laban work. It's called shape flow. And the shape flow is like this underlying body support. It's us breathing. It's our own body, our own organism relating to itself. And so if we talk about like coherence in the organs, that's shape flow. That's a deep underlying shape flow support. If we talk about like the work of Liz Koch, Emily Conrad, the continuum work, all of that is really based on shape flow. It's really based on our somatic experience within our own bodies. And we can be in shape flow without being aware of it. But if we tag our awareness into our sensation in our body, we're probably going to be in this place of shape flow. And it's so clearly the idea with, not clearly, I don't know if anything's clear in this world, but when we're talking about flow, we can assume, like even in more normal English, that that sort of has a relationship to water, fluidity, flow. And so with the shape flow, and we're going to have this whole class kind of playing with this idea of how is my organism, how is my body in harmony with itself? How am I supporting my own body, my own movement? How am I alive in a way? How is my breath working? How is my blood flow moving along? How is my lymphatic moving along next to the blood flow? How are my nerves? How's my nervous system? So taking a few deep breaths just into our awareness of breath. And these breaths can be very, however it's comfortable for you. It doesn't have to be, I'm breathing like this. There's no rule about how we breathe. We can breathe, we can imagine being breathed. Sometimes that's a relief. Sometimes it's stressful to think about breathing. And you can be in any position, standing, laying on the floor, seated, whatever feels good to you. I'm eventually going to probably be all over the floor and maybe standing, who knows. But I'm just starting seated, tuning in to my own body and to feeling what it feels like to be in my body today. So the things, I'm just going to name what I'm noticing in my body, and you can think about what's happening in yours. My hands are cold, my fingers are cold, and my hands are on my legs, and I can feel the cold through my pants, my leggings. I can feel my sit bones on the block that I'm sitting on. And I'm kind of moving a little bit on the inside. So I've got this little underlying flow of micro movement happening. I can feel that it feels kind of difficult to breathe in the sagittal, forward, backwards, especially up here in my chest. My breath feels kind of low and in the back of my body right now. And I'm also a little amped up, so I can feel my nervous system a little more high frequency or zzz, more buzzy than normal. It's kind of semi-caffeinated, but also the excitement of the day. Ha. If I take my hands onto my chest and onto my belly, I can slow myself down a little bit and really come in. And as I do that, I start to feel the sound, the vibration of my voice inside my body. And that sort of sends like almost like a wave of movement for me into the back space as I let myself become softer. So we could say that when we're in really supportive shape flow and underlying deep core support, and I want to say core support as not I'm engaging my muscles and I'm squeezing, but core support as my spinal cord, the information going out and in, my cerebral spinal fluid is alive and healthy. My psoas is relaxed and easy. My guts are easy. They're just doing their natural stuff. I'm not holding, grabbing, or squeezing. I'm just tuning into the aliveness of these systems that are all working together. So tuning into that core support in harmony with the breath support, in harmony with the fluid supports of my systems, my blood flow, my vascular system alongside the lymphatic system. Is there something I can relax more? So I can relax my jaw a little bit more. I can do the droopy voice. So what I wanted to offer for you guys is to use maybe some sounding so that you can also get that sensation of sound in your body. Maybe like ah, ooh, ah, really free flow, any kind of sounds that feel delicious to release, to let out, or anything that helps you feel into your body. Ooh. Sometimes if I do kind of an ooh sound with sort of tightish lips or closed-ish lips, so it's almost like the air coming out like ooh. I think they call it in continuum, it's called a puffed O. Ooh. So it's like your mouth is just letting out this sound, but it's kind of filling up your cheeks, so the muscles in your face get a chance to relax as well. So I also want to offer throughout this whole session that maybe this is a great time as we're really in this internal relationship of shape flow, my organism, my body relating to itself, that we can involve any kind of self-touch that feels helpful, that feels nourishing, that feels loving. And we're also going to invite like the sort of deepest Mother Earth goddess love into ourselves. So this very female, very yin, very caring lovingness into ourselves in whatever way that feels good. Like it might be, I know some people don't have great experiences with their own mothers. So use some other archetypal mother. Maybe you had a friend who had a great, really loving mother, or maybe it's like Mother Mary or any other kind of goddess or saint, Mother Teresa. But this kind of really non-judgmental, let's take that part out. Sometimes mother can go with judgment. Let's take the judgment part out and just make the non-judgmental, deep, deep, encompassing, but not stifling love. So tuning into that awareness and the flow and the force and the resilience of that kind of deep, deep, deep mother love. Inviting that into your cells, inviting that into your tissues, inviting that in with the breath, and letting go on the exhale of any kind of resistance to that idea, right? Sometimes I can't let that love in. No. Yes, let's let go of that resistance. Let that just kind of melt and fall out. There. Yes, you can. You can. We can let it in. And you can really use any kind of female archetype with this, any kind of female goddess energy, Hecate, Aphrodite, Venus. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a mother goddess. We're just going to invite in all of the feminine female goddesses into this soup of feminine love. And as we're in those, as we're in that invitation, just noticing into your body what you're noticing. What do you feel? What's arising? Are there body parts that really come online? And maybe it stirs up some kind of memories. Maybe it stirs up dreams or like images. Let those come in. And letting yourself soften if you have any kind of self-judgment, any kind of self-doubt, any kind of fear and loathing in your system, let that just melt away. Let it wash away. Let this mother love just wash and cleanse that away like this big oceanic river. And allowing yourself to move in any way that feels good, allowing yourself to let that micro movement bubble up. So micro movement, any tiny little movements, and that is going to be the underlying shape flow support, that micro movement of any kind of macro movement that's happening. So no matter what, as long as we're alive, we're moving. Our breath is going to be moving us. I mean, even the movement of our eyes, check even with our closed, whether we're dreaming and our eyes are moving, whether we're awake and we're checking things out. Allowing that flow of movement to dance with that mother love in whatever way feels good. It could be a tiny, almost stillness rocking, or it could be much bigger, much more expansive. And as you're in that place, allowing any kind of hard, grippy tensions to just crack off and melt away. And as they crack off and melt away, they just get reabsorbed by the air, the earth, the space around you. They just get reabsorbed. So it's kind of like with this idea, we're sort of clearing out our own system, but we're also clearing out the space around us just because our energy pattern is affecting the space around us. So we're letting in, we're inviting in like this delicious nourishment. Like almost like you're a baby in the womb and your mother is so excited that you're going to be born. And so is your father, but let's focus on the mother. Your mother is so excited. She's eating all the healthiest foods. She's playing beautiful music. She's singing, she's humming to you. She's going to welcome you into the world. And so you have this just abundance of mother love, abundance of healing, all the stuff that we always want and need, the sensation of love and healthy life force energy that's just coming into us. So yeah, tuning into that deep underlying shape flow support in the field of this loving archetype. We could say goddess, we could say mother. I mean, it could even be like, you could even think about mother animals, how they are, how protective they are of their children. So letting yourself be in that place, not overprotection. There's still room for you to play and to learn and to explore and to grow. But you have this support, this underlying core shape flow support that's very feminine, very spacious, very receptive, and also very creative. There's so much room for possibility in this receptive space. So just letting yourself tune into that. Adding sound whenever it feels good. And if you go with that sound, mama, and you open your mouth at all, it's like you're saying mama. So, mama, mama, mama. And this is terrible, but I gotta say it. It could be triggering for some people. If you had a mama that wasn't there for you, then maybe that mama is a very crying thing. But let's just pretend that this super wonderful, loving ma is there for you. So if you are making that mama sound, it's being returned to you with just exponential oodles of love. And in that space, you can really accept yourself. You can just go, I am loved. I'm lovable. I am the loving child, the lovable child in the world, in this body. And as your awareness dances through yourself, it's almost like your awareness is shining the light of this life energy on your body. If you have injuries or parts of your body where it's very easy to feel that part because it's in pain, just shine that loving light of awareness on that part of your body. Accepting whatever the wisdom is for you with your relationship to that body part. Oh yeah, and wisdom, right? Sophia, that's another female energy, bringing that in, inviting in that female wisdom, heart space, intuition, the heart and the guts. And so that heart and guts is very much, again, about that shape flow, right? Oh, I'm not contracted and constricted in my guts. I'm letting them move as easily as they need to. And I can push, I can draw up, I can squish around side side. I've got this very three-dimensional access to movement. But it doesn't mean like I'm just this pool of puddling water that has no sort of alive tensions. So there's like the not restricted and grippy tension, but the easy tension of allowing your body to move. So there's like tension and counter tension that are dancing, but in a healthy way in your body. Oops, it's like counterpoint or melody and harmony in your body, in this interrelatedness, interconnectedness. Yeah, and in this place, there's tremendous space for the I don't know. I don't know. This is what I'm feeling right now, but it could be totally like that in a minute. We're not holding on to anything of right and wrong, and this is the way it should be, and it's perfect, or anything like that. We're letting all of that go. And we're just being in the fluidity of our own experience, in the silence, or the buzzy hum of our own experience. Mm. Ah. On my creaky floor, the earth floor, the wood floor that came from a tree that was alive. And imagining that this sort of archetypal mother love is like water, like it can flow anywhere. It can penetrate all sort of boundaries. It is not limited by space, time. No door can hold it out. It's got the force not just of water, but of all the elements. It's got the Kali Durga fire. It's got all the life force energy, all the possibilities, the spaciousness. And this loving force wants you to feel good. This loving force wants you to blossom. This loving force wants you to shine. And this loving force wants you to nourish yourself and take care of yourself and rest. to listen into your own rhythms, to your own gut intuition, to your own heart, and to your mind as well, listening into all of it, navigating your life with this deep, deep intelligence that goes beyond any idea of what success is or any idea of what you should or shouldn't do or who you should be. It's like talking about the forest and saying, oh, the forest should be like this or like that, or that mountain, yeah, that mountain's not quite right. It's not like the mountain is just absolutely right as is, and the forest is exactly right as is. The ocean is exactly right as is, and so are you. So tuning into that and inviting that awareness and that loving kindness into your cells, into your bones, into your cranium, into your pelvis. This loving force doesn't think any of your feelings are wrong. This loving force doesn't think any of your ideas are bad or any of your thoughts are evil. It just is. It accepts it all. I'm going to put on some music for the end. And just let yourself respond to the music as if it is space, as if it is loving kindness. Also, as if it's coming from inside of you. It's in you, it's outside of you, it's everywhere. Letting yourself dance with that. Do one more song, I think, or a little bit longer. That song was Michel Ayello. That song was called actually The Blue Stetson. The next one I think is going to be Geoff Gersh-ambient fields. Yeah. So letting yourself move with the ambient field. music off, but just let us have a couple more minutes of just our own moments of experience so that you get a chance to process some of that stuff. You could do it in stillness or keep moving, however it feels good to you, but like a minute or two of just letting yourself be in your experience in whatever way without the influence of the music. Either resting in the silence of your experience or moving, whatever feels good to you. Giving that sort of shape flow cosmic support a chance to integrate in whatever way is most skillful for you, for your body, for your most nourishing. And I'm going to stop recording. TV Land, people, like and subscribe.